for 3DSE, one of the strategic targets or objectives has already been for a couple of years to become international. And we've been doing projects already in the US for quite some time, 8 years to be precise here. And the delivery for those projects we always did here from Germany, traveling back and forth, flying to the US, being there a couple of weeks, delivering the project. And so in order to better support the local clients, in order to support and ease the local delivery, it was a kind of fairly easy decision for us to say, well, let's take the first step of becoming international, going to the US, because we're familiar with the language, we already do have clients there, so the culture is kind of similar. And that was the major reason for starting our international approach in the US. So the reason for picking Chicago as the office here for 3DSE in the US was mainly on the one hand because we do have a client base which is located around the Chicago, the Great Lakes area. So we're already working for John Deere, we're working with Harley-Davidson, which are all located in that area. So that was a clear pick or recommendation for that area. The second reason was Chicago is one of the airport hubs in the US, so it's fairly easy to travel to Chicago from Germany, and it's also very easy to travel to basically any site in the US from Chicago. That was the second reason. And the third reason for picking Chicago was that there is an industrial footprint in the Great Lakes area which is very attractive for us, which is very comparable, very similar to the client footprint we do have in Germany and in Austria. So we do believe that there is more interesting clients for us in that area we could easily serve from having Chicago as an office. So I think our clients will mainly benefit from our step moving to the US in two ways. So on the one hand, we do have many clients in Central Europe, which also do have international US R&D sites. And so for us, and for those clients, it will be very attractive, which are already working with 3DSE, to also have the opportunity to work with 3DSE in the US as well. So being served with a similar DNA, with a similar approach, with similar expertise. And on the other hand, there is clients, purely US-based clients, which can now benefit from the expertise and from the learnings we do have working with our Central European clients, and so transferring that knowledge to the US office and serving purely US local clients. So basically, positioning of 3DSE will be quite similar to our Central European positioning. So we consider ourselves as being a highly specialized boutique management consultancy with a clear focus on innovation and R&D. So that's certainly one key aspect we also will have as a key or core of our positioning in the US. A second aspect certainly will be that we will also focus on driving R&D competitiveness. So the same as we do with Central European clients, really taking those clients to the next level of R&D competitiveness. And a third aspect certainly also will be of our positioning to provide deep engineering knowledge, deep engineering expertise from really a wide range of industrial domains. And also to some extent, and I think that will be to some extent a bit specific for the US, to also leverage the German engineering heritage, if you will, so transferring that approach, transferring that German engineering philosophy to the US. So as already mentioned in one of the earlier questions, so the footprint we do see in the Great Lakes area, in the Chicago area, the industrial footprint, the potential client footprint is kind of similar to the industrial domains we're working with in Central Europe. So automotive, heavy machinery, medical devices, aerospace. So basically that we will target similar industries, but as a starter, we will certainly focus on heavy machinery because we already have John Deere as a client. We will focus on automotive because of our strong automotive footprint, and we will most likely also target and focus in the beginning on med devices in the US. So I think having that office in Chicago and in the US will make us much more attractive for all our employees. So I think really becoming international means that people already working for us in Austria, in the Vienna office or the Munich office in Germany, will offer them the opportunity to really work in international English-speaking project teams, so really having global project teams, if you will. But on the other hand, it will also open up the opportunity to maybe do an expat assignment or do a temporary project assignment working from Chicago on a US project, for example, for a couple of weeks or a couple of months. So in really being exposed to that culture, to that language, I think that will be highly attractive and highly beneficial for all our employees we currently do have. And I think also the other way around, when we open up that office in Chicago, it will also be very attractive for US employees to have the opportunity to accept assignments or expat assignments, project assignments, traveling to Munich or traveling to Vienna and working from there for a certain period of time, working for interesting clients in Central Europe and being exposed to that culture. I think probably the biggest challenge, or the biggest challenge, let's put it like that, will certainly be to really become an international consulting company. So currently we are heavily Central Europe based, not only from our offices, but also from our heritage, from our client base. And I think that will certainly be the biggest step for 3DSE to truly become international and open up the perspective, widen the perspective to really think global, to approach also our projects from a more global perspective and leverage the solutions we also do see on an international basis. And I think the second big step or second challenge certainly will be that in probably the midterm, I would say, it certainly will affect the language we will speak in our project, the language we will speak in our company, because in the future we probably, it won't be sufficient that we all only speak German, but we probably rather need to speak all English in order to be able to collaborate on a global scale.